meanwhile, I'm being told that Wu Li is back with us, that connection that has been re-established. Wu, thank you for speaking to India today. I believe you can hear me this time around, Wu. Really wanting to get a sense from you on how China is looking at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the SCO summit with regards to the bilateral that is planned between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Xi Jinping. What are the big headlines in China?
Exactly. Thank you for having me. We are now in the media center. As you can see, many journalists are working here to wait for the grand opening of this, Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit to be held from August the 31st to September the 1st. And actually, as you mentioned, Prime Minister Modi has just arrived in Tianjin. And this is his second attendance to the SCO after the 2018 SCO summit, which was held in Tianjin. And now it's also his first visit into China in 7 years. And actually, Prime Minister Modi met with Chinese President Xi Jinping last year in Kazakhstan. The two leaders have reaffirmed that two nations should focus on bilateral relations, boost economic ties and cultural exchanges. Now this SCO provides a very great platform for both countries and also its SCO member states, observer states, as well as global partners. We know the India and China have been the member states of SCO and also the BRICS organization, and also the two countries have been a member of the G20 organization. That through these kind of platforms, the two countries are aiming to boost their bilateral ties and boost economic connectivity, and especially the cultural and people-to-people exchanges. So over the next 2 days, these global leaders are expected to sign and approve a Tianjin Declaration, which will focus on the SCO development, especially for the next 10 years, because we know the SCO has been built in 2001. It has been around for 24 years. And what's next for the next 10 years, especially when it comes to security, as well as economic connectivity, multilateralism, and international collaboration. Especially today, China, India, and both two of the largest developing countries in the world. And the world is facing many challenges, including unilateralism, tariff, and protectionism.
You know, Wu Li, you're at that media center, and it's quite a grand media center that's been built here. If you can hear me, we're also at Tianjin. We are at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's hotel, Vanda, where he is. I want to understand from you, what are China's expectations from India when that one-on-one meeting takes place tomorrow between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping?
Of course, China has always been attaching great importance to its neighborhood diplomacy, because China and India are neighbors, and the two countries had a very long friendship. And now, over the past few years, the two countries had a very good relation, and also the two countries have been decided to push forward the bilateral relations. And now, especially this August, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi paid a visit to India. And this summer, India Foreign Minister and also its Defense Minister also visited China. Because this kind of high-level meetings have been expected in the recent months, and two countries decided to move forward to expand their relations. So in the next 2 days, these two leaders of China, India, as well as other SCO member states are expected to sit together. They are showing to the world that they can sit together and to expand the collaboration to boost the multilateralism as well as the global organizations.
Okay, so multilateral level, China and India are cooperating at multiple levels. When it comes to American tactics and American bullying, America is imposing sanctions on China. Of course, they've given China a 90-day period. They want China to reduce importing oil from Russia. What is President Xi Jinping's thinking? What is China's thinking on American unilateral taxation?
That's a very interesting question because, many countries have suffered challenges from the tariff, protectionism, unilateralism. And, China also is now paying great attention to boost multilateralism because as two of the most populous countries in the world, China, India, and also because this time Russia's President Vladimir Putin is also expected to come to attend the SCO summit. And these countries, developing countries, are coming together. They know that unilateralism will stop the whole world economic growth. Only global collaboration and will pave the way for global growth. So they know free trade because this kind of developing countries have benefited a lot from free trade, from economic exchanges. Now they want to show to the world that coming together and boosting the multilateralism and also economic collaboration is the only way forward. That's why I think a lot of countries choose SCO, choose G20, BRICS, APEC, and other global platforms to boost collaboration. They know that they have to sit together and uphold this kind of collective actions so that they can build a community with a shared future for humanity. So that's the key for globalization.
Okay, and the border tensions between India and China, before I, hand it over to our studio in Delhi, the border tensions between India and China, what is the Chinese thinking on that? What's the way the two countries can move forward on the situation along the India-China line of actual control?
You're right. We know that people, in different countries, they say different languages. They have different cultures. And for the border, many neighboring countries have this kind of minor disputes because last year when President Xi Jinping met with Indian Prime Minister Modi in Kazakhstan, the two leaders said that this kind of minor dispute shouldn't stop the great relation between the two countries. And after that, the two foreign ministers, as well as border disputes, they have set up a special, mechanism called high-level exchange, for this kind of border disputes. So representatives from the two countries are now coming together. They sit together and they talk and they negotiate and they want to settle this kind of disagreements. They want to show to the world that this kind of minor disputes will not affect the bilateral relations. So from the top level, from the foreign ministry and defense and other high-level ministries, we can see that the minor disputes have now been handled carefully. And now the two countries want to move forward. They want to focus on international, collaboration, economic connectivity, and people-to-people exchanges.
Okay. Very interesting, Wooly, for joining me here with your perspective. Wooly of the CGTN for joining us here on India Today. Many thanks. So the situation, as you noticed, from the Chinese perspective, improved relationship, economic cooperation, greater access to Indian markets. From the Indian side, the point remains peace and tranquility at the borders essential for the relationship to move forward, and greater access to Chinese markets for Indian goods, reduce that trade imbalance that hurts India so drastically.
Right.
Will there be forward movement on these very critical aspects? We stay on this big story, but for the moment, over to you in the studio, because that's one way that we can actually think about whether there is forward movement or this is just intense jockeying that's taking place.
Oh yes, absolutely, Gaurav. The same point you mentioned, and I have been reading about it. Is this mere symbolism, or can this be a turning point when it comes to the power play that we are talking about?